School's in session. And when students, staff, and families know and practice just a few simple habits, they can keep our school communities healthy, a place where children can think, learn, achieve, and care. The easiest way to keep our school communities healthy is through hand washing, and there are many reasons why. Hand washing is the #1 way to prevent the spread of disease, and washing your hands keeps you healthier. We know that's good. The Colorado Board of Health requires hand washing at these times: before eating, after using the bathroom, and any other time hands might be dirty. Also, all sinks must have hot and cold water with access to soap and towels to dry hands. And though hand sanitizers can be used, they should only be used when hand washing is not available. A lot of people wonder about hand sanitizer. Can it really prevent disease? Hand sanitizer can be very effective for killing germs, including most bacteria and viruses. However, if you can see the dirt on your hands, you need soap and water and some good scrubbing to get them clean. Remember, hand sanitizer should only be used when hand washing isn't possible. One of the best things about hand washing is it's easy. And here's our friend Henry the Hand, champion of hand washing. First, wet the hands. Next, soap up with warm water. Then start scrubbing. Wash between fingers, wrists, under fingernails, and on the backs of hands. Keep washing for at least 20 seconds. You can time it by singing the ABC song.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Rinse well. And finally, dry off with a towel. Don't forget to turn off the water using the paper towel instead of your hands. And if you want to reduce how often kids miss school, make sure they wash at these key times: arrival, right when they get to school or program; after using the bathroom; before eating; before leaving for home; and when visibly dirty. Hand washing helps improve child growth and development. It's good for kids, staff, and everyone. And speaking of hands, keep your hands out of the T-zone. The T-zone represents the mucous membranes of your eyes, nose, and mouth where germs can enter the body. If your hands come into contact with germs, then your hands touch your face, the germs can enter your body and make you sick. Don't touch the T-zone. Another great way to reduce the spread of germs is to brush up on respiratory etiquette. Respiratory etiquette means keeping your spraying germs and viruses to yourself. Cough or sneeze into your upper sleeve or elbow, not your hands. Sometimes known as the vampire sneeze, this is very effective at keeping your germs to yourself and your hands clean. Another effective technique is to cover your mouth and nose with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Then put the used tissue in the wastebasket and wash your hands. Finally, the CDC recommends wearing a mask to protect others when you're sick. So now let's talk about what we're trying to prevent: infectious disease. An infectious disease requires a host. A host is a person or other living animal that hosts the disease, where it can grow, evolve, and be passed to others. There are 3 ways infectious disease can be spread: direct contact, indirect contact, and airborne. Direct contact is something such as touching or kissing. Indirect contact is touching things like a keyboard, phone, doorknob, or by sharing water bottles or utensils. Disease can also be transmitted indirectly through a vector like a mosquito, a bird, or other animals. Finally, infectious disease can be transmitted through the air. As you can see in this illustration, droplets can remain suspended in the air for a long time. You get the idea. Disease can be spread in a lot of different ways, and it's important to do what we can to prevent it. Now on to one of the most common illnesses, influenza or flu. It affects up to 20% of the population annually. Flu season starts in the fall and peaks in winter months. And illness from seasonal flu usually lasts 1 to 2 weeks. Symptoms of the flu include fever for some, fatigue, cough, headache, body aches, chills, sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, and sometimes diarrhea and vomiting. Sometimes flu is confused with a cold. Check out the differences. the onset of the illness. With flu, it's sudden. With a cold, it's gradual. Fever, if present, high. Cold, lower. Fatigue. Flu, severe. Cold, mild. Cough. With flu, the cough is severe. With a cold, it's moderate. Headache, flu, yes. Cold, sometimes. Muscles, flu, achy. Cold, fine. Chills, when you have the flu, you often have chills, but with a cold, no chills. And appetite, flu, decreased. Cold, decreased as well. Getting a flu vaccine can help with the flu. The flu vaccine reduces the incidence of flu up to 60% in the general population. If you do get sick, it reduces the risk of complications and makes for a milder case. And it can prevent the spread of the flu. Less sick people, less spread. Though the CDC recommends that everyone over the age of 6 months get a flu vaccine, it's an individual's decision and should be discussed with your healthcare provider. You should also discuss other immunizations with your healthcare provider. People are living longer in our societies, and immunity to diseases can change over time, making you susceptible to vaccine-preventable diseases. Because of immunizations, some of the diseases that used to kill or disable people don't even exist anymore. This is considered the greatest public health innovation of the 20th century. And though some people can't have immunizations, it's important that the rest of us get them. It's called the herd immunity. If the majority of us are immunized, we'll help protect those who aren't. And one last way to prevent the spread of disease. If you feel sick, stay at home. Sometimes students, staff, or community members come to school even when they're feeling ill. It's called presenteeism, and it increases the spread of disease and the number of people who will get sick. If you do encounter someone who is sick, stay a few feet away from them. This is called social distancing. And if you don't feel well, protect yourself and others in the community. Stay home, take care of yourself, and talk to your healthcare provider. We'll all be healthier for it. So remember, it's up to you. You can keep yourself and others healthy by consistently practicing just a few easy habits. Wash your hands with soap and water at key times during the day. Keep your hands out of the T-zone. Practice respiratory etiquette. Remember the vampire sneeze. Get your immunizations. And stay at home when you're sick. We all have a part, and together we can create and maintain healthy Cherry Creek school communities, realize our dedication to excellence, and accomplish our mission to inspire every student to think, to learn, to achieve, and to care. Thanks for watching, and have a healthy school year.